Procrastination is like getting into a cold pool. We all know that if we get into the water quickly, we'll get used to the water quickly, but if we get in slower, we could feel better than jumping in all at once. Procrastination, unlike getting into the pool, is something that most of us struggle with daily. In case you live under a rock, procrastination is the act of delaying or postponing something. I want to address the serious irony of the situation before I start. I waited until Monday night to do most of the project, so try not to follow by my example, but feel free to use any of the tips that I say in this video. The first thing that I'm going to be talking about is why we procrastinate, and then moving on to how not to procrastinate, and then adding in some second opinions and inputs. Now on to why we procrastinate. There's a few major reasons why we do so. One of them is that we are not motivated. This could be either because you're tired of thinking, which is mentally, or tired of physically doing things, so it could be you're about to fall asleep. Either way, this seems to be the most common reason for procrastination. Another reason why we procrastinate is because we want short-term benefits without thinking about the long-term consequences. So if I would have started writing this script, say, the second or first day that the assignment was given, I would have had this done to a greater extent and have it written even better than it is. But I decided to go for the short-term rewards, not think about the long-term consequences. And the third reason why people don't get their work done and procrastinate is because they're either a perfectionist or they work to the last minute. So people who work to the last minute push themselves until the final due date, so they get their work done even better because they're under pressure. And while this may work, it might not work all the time, and they might not get their assignment done. So the other type of person is perfectionist. So if you're a perfectionist, some people go to the extent to where they will not even try to attempt their work because they know that if they don't do it perfect, they're not going to like it. So the perfectionist is more dangerous than the person who works to the last minute in this situation, because the person who works until the last minute has the intent of getting it done, but maybe at a lower degree than the perfectionist would. In conclusion, perfectionists and people who work to the last minute both are in the wrong here, but many types of people procrastinate for many different reasons, and all of these reasons are not justified because procrastination is bad. Another great way to motivate yourself is with visual cues. A visual cue is when you have something to show your progress so you can look at it and then say, okay, I'm this far, so like maybe a little meter or something. A man named Frank Dersmid wrote a book of business, and in it contained his personal secret using visual cues. And he showed his progress using 120 paper clips. So he put 120 paper clips in one glass jar, and then as he made a call, a business call to probably telemarket to someone, he would transfer one paperclip from one jar to another, and at the end of the day, he would know he was done if he had all of his paperclips in one jar and not in the other. So this ended up landing him a $200,000 a year job with another company just because of figuring out a method to show what he was doing with paperclips. So if you can think of anything to use on maybe Google Docs or in art project to show your work using something visual, go ahead and do it, because you might even figure out a way to get a crazy job where you make a lot of money. And another story that I want to tell you is about Jerry Seinfeld, the co-creator and writer of Seinfeld. So a man named Isaac went behind the stage after Jerry Seinfeld had done one of his comedy shows, and Isaac was quoted as asking Jerry if he had any tips for being an aspiring comedian. And then Jerry said that he would put a big X on a calendar each day he wrote down a little joke. It didn't even have to be a great joke, it just had to be a joke to show the persistence. So over time he would get better and better jokes. And so Isaac wrote to The Atlantic telling them about this, and so they published it in one of their papers. So Jerry was also quoted as saying that you like seeing the chain, especially when you got a few weeks under your belt. Your job is only to not break the chain. This advice is pretty good if you're working on, say, maybe an essay or an art project. So every time that you do something for a certain amount of time, you can put a tally mark down so you can visually track how much time you've been working, and then you can look back and reflect on how how quickly or slowly you did a task to see, if you should speed up or slow down. In conclusion, these methods were used by famous people and used very well, and they also recommend it to anyone looking to not procrastinate and work on your tasks. While some of these ways for tackling procrastination may not work for everyone, let's listen to how your classmates handle their procrastination and how much they procrastinate.
So Gracie, how much do you procrastinate?
A lot.
Okay, can you define a lot?
Like pretty much every time I'm given a project.
Okay. And what do you do to stay focused, if you stay focused?
I don't stay focused.
Nothing at all? Like put your phone down?
I listen to music, I guess.
Okay. And would you recommend listening to music to other people who need to stay focused?
Yeah, but it depends on what kind of music you listen to. Because like, if you're listening to your favorite song, you just get distracted.
And how much did you think that you procrastinated on this project, and you can be honest?
Actually, I didn't really procrastinate that much on this project, only because my partner made me do my work. Otherwise, I would have procrastinated it.
Okay. How much would you say that you procrastinate?
Sometimes, not frequently.
Okay. And what tips do you have to stay focused and not procrastinate?
Be sure to do everything you have to do as soon as you get home. Study, do homework, whatever.
Would you recommend that to other people?
Of course, yeah.
And how much did you procrastinate on this project, would you say?
Not at all.
Not at all. Thank you for your time, Mr. Anderson. How much do you procrastinate, Harley?
I procrastinate a lot.
And what do you usually do to help stay focused? Like any specific tips or anything?
I try and drop anything I'm doing, such as playing on my phone, any type of electronics that keep me distracted from doing any schoolwork.
And would you recommend that to other people, or how could you have it become more of a broad term, like put down your phone when you're working or something like that?
I definitely recommend it to other people that are also procrastinators, because you're destroying your grade just by doing nothing, so it's not helping anyone else.
And how much did you procrastinate on this project? And you can be honest.
I didn't procrastinate at all. I actually just did it all at home and slacked off during school.
Thank you for your time.
Like I said before, some of these methods that our classmates talked about may not work for everyone. Like, I know that if I tried to listen to music like Gracie while I was working, it would not work at all, because all I'd want to do is jam to the music and just listen to it, So I've come up with a last resort of my own that's called the Procrastination Cube. So this side of the cube says get a snack, so if you roll that you get a snack. And that one says roll again, so...
Wait, was it Gavin?
This side says
so
procrastinate
what are we
for
doing?
20 minutes.
What do you think
This is used for? Procrastinate for 15 minutes. That one says work now
See
for
how
45 minutes.
much you
And the other
procrastinate.
one says work for an hour, so...
You would work.
Well, whenever you're working and you want to not work, you just roll it and it'll tell you what to do.
Work for 45 minutes.
I'll be rolling it all the time.
So you would use this?
Yes, I would definitely use this.
Okay.
This will force me to work.
Exactly.
What am I doing?
Okay, so what do you think this is used for, this device here?
To choose what you're going to be doing.
Yes, so do you think this would work? If you wanted to procrastinate, you would roll it and then you would see what you would do next.
Why would I want to do that?
So you don't have to always procrastinate or always work. You can have something else decide for you.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Wow, this is flimsy.
Yeah, that's the procrastination cube. So look at the sides. And do you think if you had a procrastination cube that you would use it?
No, that's a dumb idea.
But do you think the idea of this is a good idea? So you yourself don't have to think about it. You can just have a cube decide for you.
No, I don't think it's a good idea because most of the sides are negative and tell you to procrastinate.
Okay.
I mean, this is the only good side.
There's two sides like that.
This is the only good side. It's the only good side.
All in all, procrastination is a terrible thing, but with a few key methods can be conquered and have you back to working in no time. I hope you enjoyed the presentation as much as the person who won bingo did, and thank you for your time.
That's a dumb idea.
I'd use a procrastination cube.
Of course you would, Jackson.